Hello everyone and welcome to this EV Geek Studios video. You guys joined me in Bentonville, Arkansas. And not only am I in Bentonville, Arkansas, I'm actually at the Walmart home office. You can see we've got the Spark shop behind me. It's closed today. I can't go in and check out what's going on. But what I can do is tell you why I'm here. So we're up here for Memorial Day weekend, just visiting family, whatever. And I figured this would be a perfect time for me to slip away for a minute and check out kind of what's new in the land of Walmart EV charging. So up here in Northwest Arkansas, I believe we have 4 or 5 sites now that are open. Whereas 6 months ago, we had basically one, and it was the beta site at the Elm Springs Road Walmart in Springdale. And now we have multiple there, mostly Alpitronic HYC 400 units, but there's also a new site up here that's using ABB A400s, and I'm going to go check that out because I haven't actually used that hardware yet, and I'm just curious. One of the things we're going to be checking out though is the last time we covered Walmart EV charging was about 6 months ago. We were in the DFW area, and one of the things we were really hard on in the video was you had to use the Walmart app to activate. There's no credit card readers, whatever, and it kind of was a bit of a clunky process. So I'm really wanting to go and check out and see how that process has changed. Is it any better? Is there any fronts on that? And we're just going to kind of talk about Walmart EV charging as we go. So without further ado, let's plug in and get started. All right, guys, you all join me here at Supercenter number 100 here in Bentonville with these 4 ABB A400 units and my Ioniq 5, which I haven't given a cool name. In my app, it's just called Juicebox 2 Electric Boogaloo, which, don't get me wrong, is a good name, but it's not like personified or anything. Anyway, that's not the point of this. Let's talk about these. So this is my first time really seeing the ABB A400, and this is a really cool unit. You can see you've got this gigantic 32-inch screen up here where it proudly displays 400 kilowatts. And this is a dynamic template, so much like the Alpitronics, all of these have a very similar looking screen. You can just kind of go in here and change like the logos and things like that. You can already see it tells us to plug in to get started. Use the Walmart app. Right now they're charging 44 cents kilowatt hour at this location. Also, like, it has a button here you can click to show a QR code to download the app if for some reason you didn't already have it. But you also notice no payment terminals. So this site just opened and they still don't have a payment terminal. And look, there's even a meter down there. Interesting. You have a CCS and a NACS cable. We'll talk about here in a sec when we come and look at these data labels. So you can see the DC output is rated up to 980 volts, 600 amps, negative 22 to 131. Cool. The NACS side is only rated up to 375. I'm assuming it has to have a boost profile because otherwise you're not going to get great charging on most Tesla vehicles or NACS capable vehicles with only 375 amps. We can take a quick look here. You can see the cable management. It's actually pretty nice. I like this big arm design. Does a good job of folding back in very smoothly. And yeah, and if we just look at how this site's laid out. So these chargers are laid out with a CCS and a NACS cable per dispenser. You can see we have dispenser number 1, dispenser number 2, dispenser number 3, and finally, the very front one is dispenser number 4, and it's an ADA accessible stall. Nice. You can see they all have the same screen layout, etc. So I think what we need to do here is we will get the Walmart app out and look at activating the charger, and we can talk a little bit more about this hardware. It's super cool. So first off, it says plug in and get started. Nice. I should tell Walmart that's my phrase. They can't say that. They can, I don't care. We're gonna grab this handle. So this handle is a chunky monster, and there's a reason for that. So when we come around to the side here, see how hard this is. Ooh, that's pretty stiff to get out, but it did it. I do like that since it's so long, I can plug in frontwards if the car is asleep. Of course it is. Pop open the door. Not my finest camera work, sorry. Boom. And okay, I'm all out of whack here. Go ahead and put that back because it's a bit of a beast to handle. 600 amp cable and all that, but there's a reason it's a beast to handle. Pull off the little flap. Now we'll grab my 600 pound cable, not actually 600 pound, 600 amp. Pull. There we go. And we're gonna see if I can get this one-handed. Whee. Ooh, that feels like it's gonna break. It's in. I don't love that, but it's in. All right, start charging with the Walmart app. Sorry, that wasn't my best camera work ever. So I'm gonna tilt this sucker down. We'll unlock my phone, get to the Walmart app. You can see I'm in store mode, it looks like. Where is EV charging? So this is kind of the issue I had last time. So what we're gonna do is we'll hit the barcode scanner, QR code. Hey, there we go. It knows we're on 7, CCS. Cool. That's not the card I want to use. We'll use this one. Continue. And start charging. Payment authorizing. We'll see some stuff happen here. Hopefully. Still authorizing. Or I could have just tapped my phone and been done, but I digress. Charging started. Ooh, that's a really cool graphic, and there's a lot of clicking happening. So I like this like little pixel design. You can see it goes all the way up. Of course I like pixels. Ionic 5. We'll give it a sec. I have not heard her speak to me yet and tell me she's charging. There she goes. And now that we're going, you can see it tells us since charge start. We've got our charge speed here. We're at 30 kilowatts. It's going to ramp up how much energy and our cost, price per kilowatt, and how much we spent. It looks like we also have this little here, charge details, which will expand it out some. Cool, and gives us in a much bigger term, and also charger ID, Walmart EV charging, and tells you helpfully you can get your updates in the app. Nice. We'll hit close. You can also stop charge from there, but I'm just gonna hit close. And let's talk about this gigantic monster of a cable. So you see this cable management, it's a rigid, fixed in place management, very thick cable, giant handle. Why is the handle so giant? So one of the really cool features of the ABB A400 is it is using a vapor-cooled cable. So instead of having liquid pumps and everything, distraction, little Cessna. Instead of having a liquid pump in there that pumps liquid all the way through the cable and back, it is using a vapor situation. So the liquid in here is completely sealed. There's no pump. And basically the heat from the pins evaporates the liquid here. So that's right, each pin is liquid cooled, which is really cool. The heat from the pin evaporates the liquids. The vapor goes all the way through the cable, back up, turns back into liquid, cycles all the way back through, all on its own. Very cool stuff. Now, I don't know if that's on the NACS side as well, because again, this is only a 375 amp cable. That said, it is also very thick, so maybe. And you can see we're already now at 48%, only getting 150 kilowatts, which is not what I would expect from my car, but I'll blame my car, not the charger. And yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like here, and we'll go ahead and take a quick peek. I do like that the Walmart app has a live activity. I can click on it, take me straight in, boom, we've been charging 2 minutes 45 seconds, $1.48, 3.365 kilowatt hours, and if I had Walmart Plus, I could save 10% on EV charging. So that's cool. That's a recent addition, rolled out everywhere. So yeah, I'm gonna run in, grab a drink, and then we'll come out and we'll disconnect and we'll move on, because I do want to talk a little bit more about this. I promise I brought it up for a reason. All right, I said I was gonna go in and get a drink, but I decided I don't want to brave Walmart today. So what I'm instead going to do is we're gonna go through and we're gonna go ahead and disconnect. So I'm gonna come in here, hit charge details, stop charge. Are you sure? I like that it gives you a little, are you sure? Yes, stop. By the way, this unit is like dead silent once the charge starts. So there's clicking sounds and all that once it starts, but once it gets going, didn't make a single peep, which makes sense if there's no actual liquid pumps or anything inside. Now that we're stopped, I should be able to hit this and hope I don't break anything, because golly, it's got some tension on it. Woo! All right. So in future, maybe I should just back in instead of trying to rely on the super long cable management. Get that in. Thank you for charging. Gives you a little summary there. I'm here for 5 minutes, left at 59%, 12 kilowatt hours, spent $6. Cool. Like that it just kind of presents it like that. Close. Have a safe trip. Wow. Look at that. Nice. And we're ready to go. So let me go ahead and drop you, and let's hop in the car and talk about something that we're going to go do next. Wow, that was fancy. I've got a new camera, by the way, so this is all new for me. So, payment terminals. pretty sore subject for me as someone who doesn't really like using the Walmart app. Like, I just don't. I look at only things I really use it for is if I'm in the store and I want to know what shelf an item is on. I don't care to use it for anything else. I'm gonna bump the car on. I hope the AC is not too loud. But Walmart might have heard enough people complain about their lack of payment terminals on their chargers. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a quick drive, like 20-25 minutes, and go to the Springdale Walmart EV charging location at the Elm Springs Walmart, which is has been refreshed. So that was the original beta location. It had some ChargePoint Express units in it, and then ChargePoint Express Plus units in it. They were free for the longest time. And they recently ripped out the ChargePoint Express Plus units, moved the chargers, and installed Alpitronic HYC 400 units, which is what I've previously mostly seen on the Walmart EV charging landscape, especially in this region. It seemed for a while there that they were kind of going regional with their rollout. So like certain regions were getting ABB units, certain regions were getting HYC H400, Alpitronic HYC 400. Golly, I'm all over the place today, sorry. But then this site popped up in the middle of a bunch of Alpitronic sites with ABB units. And I don't know if it's just, they want, since Walmart's based out of Bentonville, did they want to have ABB units close by for testing so they didn't have to travel to the closest ABB site? I don't know. But I actually really like that hardware. The cable is a monster though. Like super cool, no liquid pumps, pretty dead silent operation. Monster of a cable. So I'm gonna take a quick drive to the Springdale location and we're gonna talk about payment terminals once we get there. All right, you guys now join me at the Elm Springs Road Springdale Walmart Supercenter with this Alpitronic HYC site. This, as many of you might know, was the beta test location for Walmart EV charging. And so these have gone through a lot of different configs. So you can actually see way up there, there's that cabinet, which is where all your switchgear and transformer live, because these units used to live at the front of a parking lot. They were over there-ish. And they have since been moved back here, which helps with icing. I love this layout, having the HYC units in the middle and this pull-through site kind of style each side. Not pull-through in the sense that you could do a trailer, but pull-through in the sense that you can come at it from both ways, both sides. No matter which location your charge port's on, you should be able to charge. These are, of course, the Alpitronic HYC 400. So these are 400 kilowatt stations. Again, 600 amp cables. That said, these are a much more traditional cable. They're still a thick, hefty cable, but they're much easier to manage. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is, my car has locked itself. Now it's unlocked. Go ahead and pop this open. Get that going. It just locked itself again. And we are going to pop out. And because I can just pull in and be right next to the charger, this should be a lot easier to do one-handed. I say that, it's still a very thick, heavy cable. Dude. That said, straight in, did not feel like I was going to break it. And this is the Alpitronic interface, so they all look very similar, very much the same. We're starting communication, but this is what I wanted to mention. So I am going to charge. You notice it says pay with card available. Not actually quite true, because while there is a card reader, thank you Walmart, it does say, it's terrible glare, testing in progress, use the Walmart app to activate. So maybe we'll start seeing this at more locations moving forward. But I'm going to go ahead and let me get the Walmart app pulled out again. Get my cell phone. Boom. Walmart. Also like that it gives you a timeout here for authorization. Lets you race the clock a little bit. And so this is what was supposed to be at the last site. You see how right at the top, EV charging at Walmart. I can click on this and it will cycle through, scan QR code, scan, boom. I do have to, if I remember right, I do have to tell I'm on CCS. It doesn't just automatically detect it. Switch my card away from that one because that's not my one I want to use. Boom, boom, and start charging. And we should see some things happen here. So we're authorizing here. This still just says testing in progress. I'm really excited about this. Also makes me wonder, so we're adding card readers. Will Walmart finally support Apple Pay in some form at their locations? That is a great question. And now we can just hear all the switching matrix on the inside. Click, 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 click. And we should hear her start speaking to me in a second. You can see we are preparing power delivery. More clicks. More clicks. The car is clicking now. Charging started. Yay. And there we go. So, I mean, pretty high state of charge. I'm not expecting anything super amazing here. And just to compare, so, you know, we saw the ABB interface here before. This is the Alpitronic interface. So it's a much more basic looking, but you get a lot of the same detail. And honestly, in some ways, better detail on this. So this is kind of your key up, right? You get a big screen here showing you percent state of, and power input, how much delivered. You can hit detail, and you actually get a nice little charging curve graph, which as a data nerd, I love that, as well as voltage and amps and whatnot. You can also stop from here. And if you have multiple sessions going on, it'll be on this screen. You can see it communicates, open your app, plug in your vehicle, gives you pricing, 44 cents during normal hours, 32 cents off peak. I can hit active sessions and then select which connector I'm on to get back in. And I said not expecting much. We're getting 233 kilowatts. We were getting 150 before at a lower state of charge. I don't know if that's the car's fault, if it was the charger's fault, what was going on. I didn't have my OBD dongle hooked up at the time to really dig in, but that's good power. And yeah, I mainly just came here because payment terminals. So while I don't know that this is technically still considered the beta site, it definitely seems like they're still treating it like the beta site with some testing going on. And you can see we have little balloons too, just like yay EV charging, which I support. And yeah, and you can see we have it signed on both sides, electric vehicle charging station. And if I come around to the balloons, electric vehicle charging station, and they have Walmart pickup available at these too. So it looks like you can do Walmart pickup and set, you know, EV charge spot here, check in, and we'll actually bring your groceries all the way out to the charger, which is a really cool idea. That said, with my kind of thought on EV charging at Walmart, in my opinion, nice, Walmart e-Transit coming on through. In my opinion, you know, part of the appeal of Walmart EV charging is you are going to be DC fast charging for probably 15, 20, 30 minutes longer, depending on what EV you have. And hey, you can see me now. In my thoughts, at least, that's going to be longer than you would spend doing a Walmart pickup. You know, Walmart pickup could be like a 5-minute stop ordeal, maybe. And how much juice are you really adding in 5 minutes? That said, I do like that it's an option. I do like seeing it. So yeah, I think at this point, I'm just going to wrap it up here. I'll charge for a little bit, get me a good state of charge. We're staying with family in Fayetteville, and somehow Fayetteville still has no DC fast charging, period. Walmart, maybe we'll fix that. We'll see. And so yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this quick little update on Walmart EV charging, seeing the ABB A400 units, seeing the potential for maybe a credit card reader coming soon, so you don't have to just use the Walmart app, so that hopefully you can walk up, tap your card, and be done. That would be amazing to me. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me struggle to move cables one-handed by myself. I promise you, I don't usually get that winded and whatever plugging in EV chargers, but I went back and watched that clip of the ABB unit, and I was really fighting the thing. So anyway, all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. So long, everyone.